Hi, everyone. It's nice meeting you, and it's a great pleasure to present in AMA Affinity Group's conference themed as Marketing for Better World. My name is TaeWoo, and I'm a faculty and marketing researcher at the University of Technology, Sydney. Today, I'd like to share my findings from two recent research projects and what their implications might be for the practice of marketing. The first project that I'd like to share with you was published and featured in Wall Street Journal with the title, Chatbots May Be Better When It Comes to Giving Customer Bad News. Indeed, this title only shows half of the picture, and the paper that published in Journal of Marketing in 2022 is titled as Bad News, Send an AI, Good News, Send a Human. This paper was co-authored with my great research collaborators, Aaron Garvey and Adam Duhachek and myself. So if there is a bad news, send an AI. If there is a good news, send a human. What might be an example of bad news and good news? For example, you may see a customer getting 40% discount while you're getting only 20% discount, which may seem a bit unfair and likely to lead to unhappy experience. We found, however, that when such an offer is administered by an AI, such as a chatbot or algorithm, people were more likely to accept such an offer, and they were relatively happier with such a seemingly unfair offer. And we found that such an effect was due to people's belief that AI do not have its own intentions, and therefore such a deal is not intended to take advantage of yourself and the customers in general. Well, how about a good news, like 20% discount for a person, a customer, and a 40% discount for yourself? Such a deal is good and likely to lead to a happy customer reaction. Only if such a deal was administered by a person. In this case, in such a scenario, we found that people's positive reaction to such a great deal was indeed less appreciated and mitigated when it's offered by an AI. And the mechanism was identical. People did not believe that AI has an intention, whether it's good or bad, and therefore seemingly good intended offer like this was depreciated when it was coming from an AI. So it's two different sides of the same coin. And what are the implications here? First, people think AI does not have bad intentions, and company could mitigate customer disappointment by informing that the bad deal was an AI's idea. Similarly, and also in contrast to that, people think AI does not have good intentions either. Therefore, company could increase customer appreciation by informing that the good deal was a human's idea. Well, such whether implementing such a marketing strategy is good or bad, it would depend on a company. For the perspective of marketing for a better world, I'd like to I'd like to say that ethical considerations is an important one, such as deceiving the customers about the offer's origination or the identity of the agent making the offer is unethical. And this is consistent with the global trend and encouragement that on AI creation or AI generated offer or contents should be clearly indicate that it is an output made by an AI. Well, if AI do not have intentions, or at least people perceive so, then wouldn't it be important that the firms using an AI have good intentions? So this thought led to another project, and it's particularly relevant when the AI that we observe these days is very powerful and capable of many things. So in this project, we collected numerous corporate tweets generated or announced by representative S&P 500 companies. The content of announcement was that they are going to increase the weight of AI in their businesses, such as making decisions or aiding making decisions or manufacturing or logistics for many reasons. And then we also collected data on how customers react to such announcement. And we analyzed the texts that customers posted towards such a tweet to earn information regarding whether they react positively or negatively. Here's an example of a company, Marriott International, announcing that they will use AI more closely in their future businesses. A similar example by McDonald's, and another example by a mining company, Newman Corporation. So there were a variety of different product categories that were included in our data set, and their businesses differ one from another. And earlier I mentioned about the intention of a company. So the question is then, how do we know whether a company is good or bad regarding their social responsibilities? And these days, consumers have access to lots of different scores or performance indicators that are finely defined under three pillars, which I will call E, S, and G, which respectively represent environment performances, social performances, and governance performances. As you can see from these components that falls under each different pillar, they are quite different, not just in their context, but also in their what they may indicate about a company. An example of component that falls under the environmental pillar include climate change, natural resources, pollution, waste emission. If you compare that to a governance pillar, you see board diversity, business ethics, how much the company adhere to the rules related to anti-competitive practices or tax rules. So they're very different. And social pillar include more of a human rights dimensions and sides of a company's performances. So there are official institutes and organizations that estimate and evaluate each of those SP 500 companies regarding environment performance, social performance, and government performance. And we examined whether the announcement to fully adopt an AI or use AI more closely in their future businesses had any relationship with their performances in the environment, social, and governance pillar. And our analysis, we found that for the firms with low governance performance, consumers reacted negatively to the firm announcement that they would adopt and use AI more closely in their future businesses. In a follow-up study experiment, we found that such an effect could be shortly described or interpreted that consumers do not want a firm with low governance performance to possess a powerful weapon such as an AI, because AI is eventually a neutral technology without its own intention. Therefore, if a company that shows low performance in governance pillar, which can indicate their malevolent intentions, people do not really welcome it. How about environment pillar? We found a different result here. Interestingly, in our analysis of consumer reaction, we found that for the firms with low environment performance, consumers reacted relatively more positively to the firm announcing that they would adopt and use AI more closely in their businesses. And we also found that low performance in environment pillar does not necessarily indicate a firm's malevolent intention. And performance in the environment is a much more complicated issue that sometimes require a high level of technologies and knowledges solving those problems. And consumers seem to welcome an adoption of AI for such a firm because they were believing that okay, a company is having a problem in these domains, and adopting an AI potentially could help out the firm perform better in this dimension. Also, very different reaction depending on which component of social responsibility we are looking into. So, what is the implication here? Even within the sustainability and corporate responsibility, environment, social, and governance performance could indicate very different things, and they could be interpreted with different meanings in the eyes of consumers. For a marketing for a better world perspective, it could be said that consumers monitor firms' ESG performance, and they can be supportive or supportive to important firm decisions such as adapting on AI, which could potentially translate to the attitude or loyalty to the firm and also buying their product purchase decisions such as whether or not to buy a product manufactured by such a firm. Well, thank you for listening. My name was TaeWoo Kim, and if you have any questions about these presentations or research, feel free to reach out to me using the email address shared here. I wish the best luck for the conference and wish the conference result in many successful and fruitful outcomes. Cheers. Thank you.